Hey y'all, this week's episode of The Read is brought to you by Talkspace. Talkspace is the online therapy company that believes that therapy should be affordable, confidential, and convenient. They make it super easy to connect with a licensed therapist just for you. So go ahead and join over 500,000 people who have used Talkspace for online therapy with their licensed therapist. Go to Talkspace.com/read. That's Talkspace.com/READ. We all need somebody to talk to. Talkspace can help. So go ahead, check them out, and let's start the show.
Today's episode of The Read is also brought to you by, surprise, Planned Parenthood. Reproductive rights are human rights. The fight is not over. Extremists still want to shut down health centers and cut off millions of young people from their health care and birth control access. We have to keep fighting. Planned Parenthood invites you to join their I Defy campaign to send a message that we will defy hate and discrimination in all its forms and norms. Pledging to defy means committing to stay loud, stay strong, and defend what you love. Defy the efforts to defund Planned Parenthood by texting READ, READ, to 22422. That is 22422. Code is READ. Get loud, stay loud, defy today. Text them to join the fight and stand with Planned Parenthood. Let's start the show. Does this place have bottle service? I want a Red Bull and vodka. No, you don't. You don't even know what that is. It's bad for you.
Is that the Let Me Take a Selfie song?
No, it's a quote. Weird. What? It's not from songs.
But that just seemed like maybe the most likely answer. Red Bull and vodka. I don't know. I can't.
I'm pretty sure it was Red Bull and vodka.
Is this a black movie?
No.
Okay, praise God.
But I'm like, so many black people are going to tell
I'm getting
you,
tired
like,
of being
my
disappointments
goodness,
in
it was
my
blank,
race.
such and such and such. But that was, I mean.
You know, I've watched a lot of movies, but I don't know. I haven't watched very many so many times that I know the words to them like that. Very few movies can I quote like that.
You know what? Fair.
Yeah, because I've seen pretty much most of the movies that you talk about, but I don't just know them like the back of my black ass hand.
Sometimes you have to just take context clues, and then other times I feel like even if you've seen a movie once, maybe there was that one line. But see, occasionally I like to dig deep.
Yeah, you do.
Into, you know, that one specific scene where you have to really remember it, because what the fuck would be the point if I was like, Luke, I am your father, or
right?
something.
If
like,
it was just
like,
so easy.
Oh my goodness, didn't even have to ever see that movie
all my
together.
life I had to fight.
Like, that wouldn't be any fun.
I'm just saying though.
I could have said, I'm an ex-Monifa, and then everybody would have known it was Babs. Well, no, probably not.
I still would not have known. Sorry.
Have you seen Babs?
I have seen Babs multiple times. So that's why, right. And then after, once the first 60 people told me it was Babs, and I was like, oh, right, I do remember that quote now. So, I mean, but I've only seen it maybe 3 times. So.
Okay.
I'm just that's my excuse. I'm sticking with it.
Sure. That's fair enough. So, hey guys, I am Misty
Copeland?
Knight.
Okay, I don't know who that is. I am Angela Rye.
And this is The Read.
Misty Knight. I bet it's a comic book thing.
It is.
Ha! Victorious from Marvel, not Marvel.
Right. Because that is not how you say that.
Yeah. It's on Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Oh, she's black.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
She's got an arm.
Oh, God.
Fancy arm.
Right.
Anyway, so Black Excellence this week actually is going out to Angela Rye as well as Maxine Waters.
I'm Black Excellence.
No, you aren't.
You could have let me have that.
It's not about you today.
You could have let me have that.
So first of all, I have been standing for quite some time. But this week, both of these women have stood, I mean, they have just been really loud and proud and right for quite a minute.
Yeah.
But this week was just kind of like, both of them sat up on TV and said to white haters, white male haters, racist bastards, oh, you got the wrong one.
That's it.
In so many words. So I don't know if you heard or not, but this dick from Fox News that sucks conservative cock, decided that he wanted to say something about Miss Maxine Waters' wig. And I actually didn't say anything about it. All I tweeted was the story. I think New York Daily News posted that time that Bill O'Reilly had dragged his wife down the stairs in front of their daughter.
That's really it.
I felt like that was a more important thing to talk about if we needed to actually be discussing him. But I didn't say much past that because I knew that my auntie Max was going to clear it all up and take care of things on her own. And that's absolutely what she did.
That's what she does.
She said that she is a proud Black woman. She's not going to be intimidated by anybody. And she's got the facts, basically. Similar thing happened with Angela Rye. And I don't even want to say these people's names. Walsh.
Joe, yeah.
Joe
it doesn't
Walsh.
matter.
It doesn't, whatever.
He's a flop.
He is. But I think they were discussing Sean Spicer, who is gonna have an aneurysm at any moment. Like, he's running himself ragged, and they're having the nerve to ask reasonable questions.
The stress of having to speak for Donald Trump is getting to him. On like a molecular level.
And he's just down. Like literally dying. And so he had the nerve to tell April Ryan the other day, was it yesterday? That doesn't matter.
Maybe.
He told her not to shake her head or something at one point, which is just kind of like, excuse me, bitch.
Who are you talking to?
In the fuck do you think that you're talking?
Ass lady.
A full adult.
Yours is not the first administration I've reported on. I've been doing this. Like, who the fuck are you?
I've been in this room so much longer than you. Excuse me?
Go off.
So Angela Rye was talking about it. Joe Walsh said something stupid on Twitter about how, we lowered the bar for Barack Obama because he was Black, and we're holding Donald Trump to a higher standard because he's a white man, and so he's not going to, we're not going to be as easy on him as we were because the Black dude totally got a pass, right? To which Maxine in my head is my auntie. Angela in my head is my cousin.
Yeah, my cousin.
And so she read his ass to high hell. And the thing that was so beautiful to me and why I feel more cousin from Angela is that she used the term playboy. Like she said, that's why you only served one term in the House, playboy. I was like, family. We are family. Like, I just feel like we are forever related.
Yeah, she really went in.
Took that to CNN where they had the balls to put him.
They really put it on air.
On air with her, like she wouldn't continue the dragging, which she did. The thing about her that's so great is that she's great at what she does. She's educated. She knows what she's talking about. She brings the facts. She has the receipts. She's so well spoken, and she commands every platform that she's at. Oh no, you aren't going to talk over me.
Oh
no, you won't interrupt me. Oh no, you won't play those games with me. Like, I've watched this woman sit on TV and shut down the hosts, the guests, the other, like anybody else. If you got some bullshit, not on Angela's watch.
No, Angela's not having it. Not ever.
I just wanted to say shout out to both of these women. I love y'all. We will fight to protect y'all. Anytime anybody has something out here to say, know that we've got our ears open and we're coming with all of the torches and the pitchforks. Just don't let us down. You know how some of these niggas do out here these days.
I mean, but Auntie Maxine been repping my whole life and then some.
I mean, that's true.
So I'm
and
not
she
too much
said
worried.
that. She's like, girl, do you know how long I've been doing this? I'm not afraid of none of y'all. Like, please, say what
Maxine
you
Waters
want.
has stared down so many evil crackers. You are just another one in the list. She has done this many times before.
Anyhow. So there's that. Oh, by the way, I also wanted to say that Yara Shady followed me on Twitter. I mean, on Instagram.
Oh, well, aren't you a special bitch?
I just felt blessed because, I
mean,
feel
you should.
chosen
She's
and special. And
that little girl's amazing.
she posted a a video of her, like they did like the little surprise graduation party thing.
Oh yeah,
graduation
on set.
ceremony for her on set, which was so adorable. And I said, congratulations. Also, if anybody ever has the nerve to open two of their lips and say anything bad about you, know that I will hunt them down and I will rain fire on the foundation of their lives.
No wonder she followed you.
She was like, follow, sure.
She was like, sounds like a guardian.
No problem.
And I will take it.
So I'm like taking it upon myself now to kind of, maybe I need to turn my shade down. Just like a
No, I bet she lives for it.
0.0005.
I'm sure she lives for it. You're blessed though. Michelle Obama wrote her college recommendation letters.
Was there anything else to say? Like, my God, to what?
I can go anywhere. I can do anything.
Like, what do you do when you crack open that letter and it's just Michelle O? Like,
it's just, Michelle LaVon, and you'd be like, oh my God.
The whole letter was probably just 2 words: do it.
Yara is it.
Shut your mouth. Do it. Okay,
well,
so
go you.
Moving right along, this week in I wanted to, like, it's got to be like a random thing every week. I was gonna say I said what I said, but that's way too easy.
I said what I said.
Your mom. That's right, your mom. I said it. I said what I want. You remember when Marlo talked about
Marlo. Oh, God, yes. I was like, which brolic bitch was it?
Now, that was a horrible thing to say, although I've definitely got on Kenya's mama myself, so whatever. But
Lord, that was so awful.
It was so funny.
God damn it.
She was like, your mom. I said, yup, I said it, your mom. I say what I want, I'm grown.
Kenya is just so easy to dislike.
But you know something? I've been like halfway on her side for a lot of this season.
Well, yeah, because look at the rest of these bitches.
They've been so irrational.
They are just awful. So they force you to be on Kenya's side because they are so dumb all the time.
All right. Where do we start this week? There's so much going on. I could talk about them some more and about how apparently that restaurant is open now. And Phaedra, the judge, like, threw out her divorce or denied it. I don't know if they've got to go and rewrite it or something.
I thought it was finalized.
You know, Phaedra lies.
Oh, God.
So,
oh, God.
Apparently, it was thrown out because Phaedra intentionally misspelled names on the documents.
So that
allegedly, that's what I read all over the place. I don't know why she would do that, though. That doesn't make sense.
I don't know why either, unless she didn't really want the divorce to be final. But why would you want to stay legally attached to somebody who is in prison? At the same time, I feel like she had to have done it on purpose because Phaedra is an attorney. So if anybody would know,
maybe so he can't get married to the other girl.
But did she even know about this other girl back when she first filed? Because this has been a long time coming.
I don't know.
I don't get this story.
She's a weird one.
She is.
Anything is possible.
You never know with Phaedra. Watch it turn into some kind of plot twist. It's going to be her storyline. It's going to develop all over next season.
I feel like the rug's coming out at that reunion.
Yeah. Oh, and I cannot wait. I saw Shamia was there. I said, oh, shit. We shaking the table.
Speaking of reunions, someone from West Philadelphia, where he was born and raised, had a reunion. I don't know where the fuck, where was this? At the venue where they were going to fight in Dubai?
I think Karen Parsons had some kind of Hillary.
Yeah, no,
I think she had some kind of charity event.
A charity event. I just don't know where it was exactly.
Okay.
Maybe it was in LA.
Had to be LA.
But it looks like they're on a yacht somewhere in the south of France. I don't know whether it just looks fancy. Anyway, so they had like a little Fresh Prince reunion. Will Smith was there, Tatiana Ali, Alfonso, even Jeffrey, who I haven't seen in such a while, and then some light skinned lady in a hat.
Mm-hmm. Auntie somebody.
Yeah, I don't
recall exactly.
I don't really remember what she did, but you know that's something that happened. Of course, R.I.P. to Uncle Phil. Which that just reopened that wound.
Yeah, it really did.
Because my God, like if he were in the picture, it would have just been like
it would have
just been missing
perfect.
one person,
right?
But anyway, that's something that happened and was on the grams and places.
Everybody forgot about baby Nikki, including me till just now.
I mean,
he might as well go somewhere with light skinned Aunt Viv.
If that's the point, then let's just let's just have Tyra be on the show. Let's call Nia Long and let's just get it.
I would rather see Tyra and Nia Long and Jesse Jeff in that picture than light skinned Aunt Viv. and Lil Nicky, especially Jazz. Now he deserves.
Yeah, Jazz.
He does.
Jazz is in the beginning,
right?
The whole show.
He was getting thrown out by Uncle Phil for like 3 whole seasons.
I mean,
every
Jazzy
episode,
Jeff and Fresh Prince,
right.
like it was literally
it was a thing.
DJ Jazzy Jeff from Fresh Prince. So
like
maybe he couldn't go.
Right? Maybe he just didn't want to.
He might not be local.
Maybe he's on the Blacktress's side.
But either way, not to be, she just basically had to fulfill your desires and expectations. By she, I mean Janet Hubert.
Right.
The original dark-skinned and only Aunt Viv. By coming through with a comment on the Fresh Prince reunion. Here's what she said on her Facebook, which her Facebook name is Blacktress Janet Hubert.
Yes, the Blacktress, and I love it.
Can't think of anything else she acted in.
It doesn't even matter.
I know the media hoe Alfonso Ribeiro.
It's funny every time I see it.
I know the media hoe Alfonso Ribeiro has posted his so-called reunion photo. Folks keep telling me about it. He was always the ass wipe for Will. There will never be a true reunion of the Fresh Prince. I have no interest in seeing any of these people on that kind of level. I'm not offended in the least by this photo. It was an event for Karen's charity. It does, however, prompt me to take some meetings in Hollywood to pitch my memoir, Perfection is Not a Sitcom Mom.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. And tell of the behind-the-scenes story before I leave this earth.
That is your mission in life.
It's a weird place to be in as a fan.
It is.
Because on one hand, I feel like, yes, it's not the same if it's not her. She, past the colorism thing.
Right.
Janet's Aunt Viv was a completely different type of mom.
Right.
Like the lighter skinned Aunt Viv she was like a stay at home mom and she was just kind of in the house chilling and dealing with the kids' mess and shit. Janet's Viv was like a working mama. She didn't take no shit. She was teaching them, cutting, she wasn't playing no kinds of games. She was getting her husband, all the kids together. Mm-hmm. She was respected. She was a
West Coast Claire Huxtable.
Basically.
Yes, but the new Aunt Viv just blended in with the cabinets.
Basically, that was it.
She gave birth to baby Nikki and they just kind of sat around and she was there and it was just like, we all just gonna pretend this is mama.
The only line I ever remember her having on the entire show was a scene where I don't remember how there was a horse that was in the kitchen. Do you remember that episode?
No.
I don't remember what the circumstances was, and I own the entire series on DVD, but I haven't seen that episode in a minute. But for some reason or the next, there was a horse in the house, and
okay. The
light-skinned Aunt Viv, I think she ran into Phil in like the living room or the other room or something. She was like, I gotta, bye. And she like ran out because she didn't want to deal with it. That's the only thing I ever remember her saying on the whole show.
Damn.
So. But I mean, I get it.
I mean, that's fair.
On the other hand, Janet has been talking shit like this for such a long time.
Since like 93.
At some point, you gotta move on, Auntie. Like, you just gotta. You got to let it go. Like, why would...
Yeah.
Nobody would have expected you to be there, because you don't like them and they don't like you.
And we all know that.
And everyone knows it. So it would have been shocking to see her there. Mm-hmm. Nobody is surprised by this the same way nobody is surprised that you wrote a paragraph about how you hate them bitches and you're going to do your own thing.
And call Carlton a media hoe.
And an ass wipe.
For Will.
My word.
She really don't like Will. That is where the resentment truly lies.
Him. And the crazy thing is, if you think about it, everything that she's saying or the reasons that she has to not like him are probably true. Yeah. Because he was young and rich and probably cocky as fuck.
Really self-centered.
You know what I'm saying?
All that. Probably so.
And so she probably has plenty of reasons to not like him. But like, girl, now the nigga got...
Will is like 50 years old,
his 3 kids.
They half grown too. Shit. In fact, ain't they all grown? is Willow? 15, 16?
Willow
at this point?
at this, she's probably got real estate.
Like, right, I'm sure she does. So it's like, how long can you really hold on to this?
Let it go, mama.
Now it's like your mission to tell the story behind the scenes before you die.
I wonder if Willow's ever tried to reach out to her and be like, you know what, my bad for calling you
Here's
a
check.
bitch that
Is
day
that what
or
you
whatever or something. Or if she's just like, I'm not trying to hear it.
Yeah.
Or if he's like, fuck her, I don't give a fuck. I never liked that bitch anyway.
You know, I mean, there's at least two sides to every story. Probably every last person on that cast has a really good perspective on what happened, and we might never know the whole full truth. I just want this to not be the only thing that the Blacktress ever talks about.
Right.
Because that's where we are right now.
Right.
Like every time we see your name, it is because you got on Facebook Live and started talking shit.
Because they are in the sunset giving you ear to ear.
They are grinning. Everybody looks happy.
They've got a crisp autumn or springtime filter over this picture.
Yeah.
And everyone looks happy. And you talking about how you don't like none of them.
I'm sure they are happy because that show is fully syndicated. It's on several different networks. So I'm sure everybody's
networks.
like, you know, the checks are still coming 25 years later. God is so good.
Can you pass those greens? Can I have another steak
Thank
over
you,
here?
Will.
Thanks. Because we're eating.
Damn.
I don't know what else to say about that.
I mean, yeah, it's a conflict because at the same time, my childhood self remembers and loves dark skin Aunt Viv, the real Aunt Viv, like fiercely.
Yes.
Strongly.
She was a great character.
Truly loves her. She reminds me when the Ainies would come in, Jennifer Lewis and all them, and they would have episodes with like the Ainies. When the one Ainie married a white man. Oh my God. Like that shit literally reminded me of my own family watching that. So I have I have a deep connection to her in that role.
I don't feel like there's any. That's never gonna.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to change her mind.
Right. And the show was like markedly worse once she was off of it.
Yeah.
So like she has those things in her corner. It's just like, I wish you had done something notable since then as far as acting is concerned, or like we ever heard from you for like anything else. That's it.
At least with Family Matters, Jo Marie Payton was up on that show until like the last season.
Mm-hmm.
Jo Marie Payton left the show at the right time and for the right reasons.
Yes, she did.
She was like, okay, this is stupid now.
Urkel was doing too much.
Like absolutely androids and demon puppets and 2-3 versions of him and teleportation, all kinds of shit. She was like, I'm going home. Like, I'm tired. This is dumb. The show was about family mattering, not our next door neighbor and how that nigga matters when he comes over and drinks our food. Drinks our food.
That was the same reason John Amos left Good Times, though, because JJ was such a big ass coon. The character was getting written as like a bigger and bigger coon.
What the show was about.
Stop doing this. So he had to go die in Alabama.
If you if you watch Family Matters, like that first season of Family Matters, it was so fucking funny, but it was completely different. It was about the Winslows, and then slowly it was about
it was the Urkel show, right? And it just. So, I mean, I didn't even watch that last season of Family Matters, so...
You missed nothing. Like, it
I don't even remember what the replacement
wife
wife looked like.
She was, oh God, let me tell you what she was on.
Now I gotta Google her.
She was on, I know exactly what oh, you know what? She was Gina's mama on Martin.
Oh, that lady!
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that one lady.
She was Gina's mama on Martin. That's the only thing I think I can remember her being on.
Okay, well, at least now I know her face.
But she was the mom. She was Harriet on that last season. And a lot of people who watch Family Matters probably don't even remember that because it was the very last season and it was not good.
I'm not watching it without the regular dark-skinned mama who has been on this show the whole fucking time. Y'all keep replacing them with these light-skinned women who don't do nothing but blend into the background.
And if you want to go deeper into that, Family Matters only existed because of Harriet, because it was a spinoff of another show, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but Harriet was a character on another sitcom, and they spun it off and made Family Matters. So that
Perfect Strangers with Balky.
That show only existed because of Harriet.
You damn right. You are damn right.
So Mama was like, you can have this.
I remember Perfect Strangers. That's
I only
crazy.
saw maybe a couple of bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, because I think my daddy thought they was gay, and he was like, we're not watching that. But
I remember she like worked in an elevator or fixed the elevator or something.
She was the elevator operator,
right.
At the newspaper, which was her job on the show too.
Yes.
Continuity.
There you go.
Family Matters had a whole child disappear upstairs and didn't come back, and really people did not stop watching We didn't really need Judy.
We didn't. Nobody messed up.
No shade, girl. Eddie and Laura was all really needed.
And then they had Richie too. It was like, oh, too many.
And Richie was adorable. Oh God, leave. We didn't need that middle child, that adolescent.
They gave Laura Max, and then they were done.
Yeah,
they were like, okay.
Oh God, and Eddie had Cockroach. Wait, no, not Cockroach.
Cockroach was the Cosby Show.
That was the Cosby Show. What was Eddie's friend name?
Waldo.
Waldo Faldo.
Waldo Geraldo Faldo.
Man, quality television.
Good times.
Anyway, what was we talking about?
So next on the list, Wilhelmina Models has signed Nicki Minaj as one of their newest model girls.
What?
So she is an official model. I mean, look, you better exercise all the talent you got.
I mean, I'm certainly not mad at it. I just don't understand the point. Couldn't Nicki book editorials or shoots or
she's showing
whatever?
That she takes very pretty pictures much better than handling rap lately. Like, and she cracks that out way faster than rap.
That's true.
So I mean, I think that's great for her.
Yeah, congratulations, Nicki.
She's absolutely beautiful. We'll see what happens with are they gonna
Right, is she gonna be like in the Dolce & Gabbana ads next season or something? Because like
I feel like she could do that
on her own. Right. That's what I'm so confused. Like, what campaigns is Nicki getting with Wilhelmina that she couldn't already get?
Like, are they going to put her on runways?
Because that don't seem right.
First of all, I think Nicki Minaj is probably like short for a model.
Short for a model and thick for a model
also. And thick for a model also. Yeah. So I just don't. I don't know what they're going to do for her because it feels like she can book stuff on her own.
This sounds like something you just do for the name of it. Just to be
like, say, I'm a Wilhelmina model.
Right, like when Black Bear, whoever put Alicia Keys in charge of like product development, or when Lady Gaga was running something with like Post-it or whoever. Polaroid, right. Shit. It's one of those things where you're just like, y'all just did this just to say y'all did it.
But I think Sierra signed to Wilhelmina, and
well, that makes a lot more sense. No shade.
They put her in a lot of things, but no, I don't know. Whatever. Either way, that's cute. A good look for her. For whatever reason, someone at the Wilhelmina Models Twitter headquarters place decided to like a tweet that retweeted the news and captioned it a fake ass model with ass in quotations.
Damn.
So it was kind of shade to her, and I think that they unliked it by now. I don't know if it was an intern or somebody at Wilhelmina.
Somebody who thought they was really logged into their personal account.
Probably.
They was logged into the work. And so, bitch, let me undo this quick.
Somebody kicked open the door and said, which one of you bitches?
Right. You better take the fucking Wilhelmina Twitter account off your phone, girl.
Speakerphone right now.
I mean, but everybody knows Nicki's ass is fake. How mad can you be at that, girl? Like, we know it. Look at it.
Who gives a fuck? As long as it doesn't start looking like that lady who just got life
locked up, right, for all the girls she's killed with her fix-a-flat potions, doing them in hotel rooms.
They said she got life in prison. I said her body is a life in prison.
It is, right. Like, having to carry that around. How much? No, I feel like it must be physically uncomfortable to have whatever solution that is in your body.
It makes me physically uncomfortable to look at it.
Yeah, it's gross. So, God bless, though.
Okay, so just work with me.
Is this something I don't understand or something stressful?
It's something stupid.
Okay.
Black China was on Snapchat. I actually don't want to do this. Okay. I changed my mind.
I was going to say, I actually already know the story, too. So.
It's just dumb. And you know what? I realized that I would have to read the Snapchat captions, and I actually have no idea what the fuck she's talking about. So it's just going to be too hard.
I was over there trying to sound them shits out. Like, what is this for?
So she hasn't yet come forward and said that she was hacked. So I guess we're just going to go with it. But basically, in a series of Snapchat captions, she said that Tyga isn't paying child support, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And that he can run to Kylie and Rob and I guess bitch and moan about it. And they'll buy him a lollipop and a Ferrari and make him feel better. I really don't know what she was trying to go to. But she also called him a fag and said that he dates a guy or that he's fucking a guy.
Yeah, she definitely used the word fag.
So,
all right.
There you go. There's that. Congrats, Dream.
It's pretty much exactly what I expected out of Blac Chyna.
No shock here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Crime Mob's reunited, apparently.
What? Oh, no.
So they performed at V103 concert.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, I loved Crime Mob, and I think they had a great moment, but I think that moment is also past, and I don't
Let me tell you something.
This being a thing.
I hate Diamond. Like, she makes me want to claw out my own eyes.
Okay.
She's just so delusional and weird.
Right.
However, as a whole, in a group, they've got something great. It's almost like a pickle, you know, like she would be like a pickle. Like, I feel like, you know, a pickle on its own is just sour and gross and I don't need it.
Right.
But, you know, just like a little bit of pickle juice or just a little, like I don't even need the pickle on a burger or sandwich. I could just like put the pickle on the sandwich and then take it off. So you just get a little taste of the pickle.
Essence of pickle.
Yeah, just a little S of the pickle. And in a larger picture, it works.
Yeah. I'm with you because I don't like
is that
pickles
pickle.
by themselves. I don't care for them. But
or like avocado, you know, like
yeah, because avocado. I don't know too many people who just snack on avocado.
Just bite
But you
into
put it on
it.
a fish sandwich or chicken or something like that. It's like, bitch, this is delectable.
compliments are the thing.
This is so good.
I think given the right production, and a couple of great features, Crime Mob could put out a cute little return album, and then that would probably be all I need from them forever.
Yeah, you just want one more time.
Just one, you know,
I just want to revisit the glory days.
it could be a cute little, you know, something for Atlanta. I don't think that they're, you know, completely incapable of making something fun together again.
Yeah.
But, you know, if they make it there and it's good, great for them. And I don't think I would ever need anything else.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be like, please stay together forever. Put out an album every 3 years. I need this music.
Please don't make like a Nuck If You Buck 2.0 or try and like remake a song you already did or something. Just don't. Just call up Metro Boomin or Sunny Digital or somebody and just do what comes
because Nuck
naturally.
If You Buck is great. Still great today. And definitely had its moment when I was in the club and niggas would just really start fighting. And it was glorious to see. But I don't see that replicating itself in this year. But good luck to y'all anyway.
Trey Songz went on The Breakfast Club and said that Nicki Minaj didn't have shit before Bottoms Up. He also reignited a very strange desire from August Alsina to fight him. I'm not really sure why.
Is he really claiming that Bottoms Up is what put Nicki on, of all things?
He said
Okay.
that she didn't have shit before Bottoms Up.
Well, far be it from me to be accused of being a Nicki stan, but I just don't. That's not it. That's not it at all.
It's pretty inaccurate.
That is just wrong.
Bottoms Up was a pretty great song, and it was a big song for him.
Mm-hmm. It was.
I don't think that was the song that made her. If anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's one of her better verses.
I could almost see like Yo Gotti talking shit, being like, she wasn't shit before 5-star chick.
Now, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I would accept that faster than I would this.
And she and the Barbs would still read him into the ground for it, and I would just sit and watch.
Itty bitty piggy, bitch.
That would be a more fair statement to me than Bottoms Up.
Absolutely.
Like, that's just, like, what?
5-star bitch is when I started taking Nicki seriously and stopped just being like, oh, is it a stripper with a mixtape? Like, I just didn't really pay her that much attention because I thought she was just copying off of Lil' Kim. And, you know, I thought she was...
I mean, she was, but they were making her do that.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure that's the truth. But I just thought this is some girl who is not really into rap. She has this look, and so she's going to put out a rap something. And so I didn't really pay her that much mind until that song. So I would definitely take that before Tremaine coming on Breakfast Club and lying to all of us.
He's just tired. He's
got to
tired.
be.
He's just like, you know what, fuck you and fuck that one too and fuck everybody. Come and fight me if you want. Like, that's how Trey Songz is feeling at this point.
Oh, but you don't have to just come tell blatant lies, Trey. That's just not it.
He probably received a scathing iMessage from
Somebody.
the doll. I was like, you know what? Fuck her. I'm just going to get on her. Next time I have a microphone in front of my face, I'm going to talk some shit.
Nikki strikes me as the type who don't give second chances or forgive. She mad at Trey.
No, she definitely
because
don't.
He did not come out and be like, it's all a lie.
Me
and she's not going to let it go. So you might as well, because it's over. So you might as well talk shit about her.
Like you're dead to me.
But that is just such an obvious lie.
Yeah, it wasn't a good thing.
Right.
Like, you could have come with something else.
You could have done something better than that. This is just... The receipts are there, Trey, is the problem. We all have Wikipedia now. Anybody, even if you weren't sure, you could just go look up when Bottoms Up came out and then go look at Nicki's career and be like, that isn't quite it. Like,
and did Monster come out before or after Bottoms Up?
Now that I don't know. But I do remember feeling like Nicki did you a favor and not the other way around.
I definitely feel that way too.
Yes, especially given the quality of the verse.
Because at the time, there's another song that he had when he had braids like earlier that I really liked. That was like a mid-tempo love song. And that was like the only Trey Songz record I paid attention to.
The one with Drake?
No. It was like I Can't Stop Missing You. It was like a really dumb, corny song. It sounds like Neo or somebody wrote it. I don't know. But it was like a cute little melody. But other than that, Bottoms Up was probably the only Trey Songz record I listened to like from the beginning to the end. And usually it was only in anticipation for the Nicki Minaj part. So, I mean, reach for the sky.
I mean, especially, never mind. I was going to bring up Beat Your Body Like a Congo, but
that would have been petty.
And it's just time to leave it alone.
And the Starlets or whatever what are they called?
The song's Yups.
The Yups?
The Yups.
There are many of them.
Right. Even still today, somehow. Y'all need to go buy that album he just put out.
I heard it's good.
Did you?
That's what I heard. I haven't listened to it myself.
Oh, I tried, but it just, I can't. The
thing about them to me.
It's not for me.
I mean, I'm going to listen to it, I guess, just because I like to be fair and hear things. But the Trey Songz with Chris Brown and the R&B boys of today, it's just so, first of all, I'm not attracted to the sound of male singing as much as female singing. And it has nothing to do with anything, but I just feel like the female vocal is more pleasing to the ear than the male one.
Well, that singer, yeah. Yeah, that guy.
But anyway, past that, most men, even the ones who I know can sing, I just feel like the subject matter is so,
It's only so many euphemisms for sex I want to hear.
But it's like, do they all have to be like that? Like, whatever happened to like
album have to be about this?
I love you a whole lot, and you are special and make me feel special. This is the way that I feel about love, or just I had breakfast today and it was tasty, and I'm gonna go out and have a great day because I love being happy. It's like all of it now is just like, I'm going to choke the shit out of you and I'm going to fuck you so hard, nuts going to come out of your eye sockets and I'm just going to pull your weave out, bitch. So make sure you glue it down extra. Like, that's the hook. Like, glue it down extra tight. Like, whatever. Like,
glue it down extra tight.
Lace fronts. Like, that's like, it's just.
Remember LOL smiley face?
Yeah, it's.
Shawty sent a twit pic saying you want to hit this LOL smiley face.
Like, Chris Brown has a new song out now and I listen to it and it's just the same thing, like vulgar sex record. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that too. I just feel like that's all I hear from these guys now. And so it's kind of like I take my time going to listen to it.
Yeah.
But if it's good, it's good. I'll definitely listen to it. But it's only so many times I can hear you come up with a way to describe pussy juice. I'm just like, okay.
John Legend is the one singing about how complicated and deep and amazing love
and people
is.
hate him for it. I mean, like, people cannot stand the fact that he actually sings about like love. It's like, makes
so in
love songs.
Love is amazing. I feel this incredible way about you. Our daughter is everything.
Or even if you're going to sing a song about whatever you want to sing about, I just feel like there could be different ways of going about it. It's just so direct and vulgar and not
right.
It's like all of the male R&B singers today wants to be singers with a rap persona, and it's just boring.
Yeah, like Bryson Tiller and all them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even disagree with you. I prefer the little teenage boys from back in my day, just singing about Shawty being so cute, and I wish I could work up the nerve to ask you for your number.
All the ones who don't were in the New Edition movie. All the niggas, the young niggas who sing about other things were in you. They were just like, let's just put them.
Let's just put all the ones who don't sing about, just blatantly about vagina and how wet it is into this movie.
But look, there's a market for it because these niggas sell and they tour and they do what they got to do.
Yeah, so I mean, somebody likes it. It don't have to. Everything ain't for me.
So in this week's entry of the Tiny versus T.I. family hustle
Lord
shenanigan. So we talked briefly about T.I. dating this Bernice girl. I still don't know how to say her last name, and I'm not going to try. But did I mention what Tiny said on Instagram about her being a pass around bitch?
I think so. When was this? I feel like, I mean, either we talked about it or I read about it on Instagram. One of the other.
Either way, about a week ago, Tiny went on Instagram. Somebody left a comment saying, this Bernice girl is all over
Your
tips.
mans.
Yeah.
Your husband.
Bernice be all over your husband IG. You are a strong woman, Tamika. I hope this is somebody she knows. Because I would have, but it definitely
it ain't.
It definitely is him. And that's why I was the way that I was with my fucking name, because y'all are weird. Like, people are just be like, oh, girl, Algernon.
Like, talking to you like they know you. Like, what don't?
Miles, Ben. I really have Robin.
Who is Tamika? Who are you talking to?
You are a strong woman, because I would have bust tip side his head with a bottle of Hennessy. No, you wouldn't have. Because you are not trying to go down for that. Ask the brat. She gonna be paying for that for the rest of her life.
It's not fun or cute.
To which Tiny responded by saying, I ain't losing no sleep over no pass around bitch. Bless him and her too.
Yeah.
And then referred to these charts.
I think we did talk about that because then we talked about Escape getting back together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Candy and Tiny recently just got credits on Ed Sheeran's Shape of You, which has been #1 on Billboard for like 8 weeks.
Oh, it's been #1 on Apple Music for like 34 weeks or something crazy. It is.
So
it will not go away. So that's just money, 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 money.
Okay, so more recently, the Bernice, who is stunning, went on Instagram after another girl left a comment saying that Bernice was a homewrecker and had always been a homewrecker, and that her boss left his wife and 2 kids to be with Bernice. And she knows this because she knows her personally. Bernice responded to the girl saying, I had enough of the bullshit fake ass stories. Always been a homewrecker. That home been broken. And I've never dealt with a married man in my life. So please stop trying to declass my character.
Do you mean till now, or because he's definitely still married?
He's married at the moment. Technically, when a person files for divorce, it's saying they're moving on with their lives and the marriage has failed. Also, not 100% true.
I mean, but that does not change the status of that person. Like, they're still married. Husband
and wife.
Right. Now, maybe you mean you've never fucked around with somebody who was still with his wife. Maybe that's what you meant. And I do agree with you that home has been wrecked and you're not the one who did it. So if you want to come along now and join in the reindeer games, that's your business. It's just not a good look because the man is still married.
And whether that home is wrecked or not, they gonna be in that home for a while because they have 18,000 children together.
Did you forget about that?
Including one they just made a year ago.
Right.
So you gonna be in that broken up home with them, walls crumbling down around y'all. That's what you want to do.
While T.I. writes that child support check every month. While that's happening also.
What happens... I'm reading it again. What happens after that is naturally both of them will find new ways to spend their time and new people to spend it with. And as for passed around, never have I ever been passed around. I dealt with one man in the industry and now all of a sudden I'm a pass around. and that's old. I'm assuming she's talking about Drake because she definitely dated Drake.
Oh, okay.
Don't degrade my character and make shit up because you can't find shit to speak about. Don't come for me if I ain't stand for you. I'm so tired of people saying that.
Oh God, really?
So that was her response to that. And then maybe like the following day, she got on Instagram and said, you know, she's sick and tired of the bullshit and she's never been passed around and she doesn't have to say that she's a bad bitch all of the time, but she's so tired of being quiet. And she calls herself a boss and says that she and T.I. are not dating. They're friends and he's a boss, she's a boss. And that's why they hang out together. And God, I can't walk down the street with the guy without people saying that I'm dating him, et cetera, and kiki, laugh, laugh, laugh. Look at my abs, they're so tight. I'm so gorgeous, blah, 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 the end.
Okay.
And that's, I guess, where we're at with it now. Tiny liked some shady comment on Instagram about it and then moved on with her day. I mean, Tiny really, regardless of how you look at this situation, Tiny just got them credits. Escape is back together. They're doing a reality show with her. But they're supposed to be doing a reality show. I heard Jermaine Dupri is working on a biopic about them.
Oh, God.
Which, can you think of somebody better to do a fucking...
Actually, no.
Besides maybe... Never mind.
Are you about to say something terrible? Are you? No. Are you finna?
I'm not going to say anything.
No, I think you should.
So here's my feeling about the Bernice T.I. Tiny situation. I don't need to hear anything from T.I. or Bernice about this. Tiny, you know, said what she needed to say and move on and great and so on. But the commentary from her was so ridiculous to me and annoying for a couple of reasons. First of all, I just feel like I tune out a lot of the Instagram models speak when they start discussing being bosses and what they have and all that shit. And it's no shade. I feel like, you know, if you are committing yourself to, you know, drinking this weird tea and waist trainers and taking really lovely pictures and all of that stuff, if that's how you want to get your bills paid, I'm not mad at that. As long as you're not hurting nobody, you're not hurting yourself, you're not committing any crimes, pay your rent how you want to pay your motherfucking rent. If that means you got to make friends with the right promoter and the right, you know, club owner so you can meet the right rapper and athlete, cool. And I'm not even saying her specifically because I don't know this girl or care about her. But it's like, here are the holes in the story, and this is why I'm gonna treat you like the duck that you look, act, and talk like.
Quack like?
Walk, talk,
sure,
and act,
all
whatever.
Those things.
Because first you got, okay. The rumors between or about T.I. dating her have been going on for a while, like weeks. Tiny called her a pass around bitch a week ago. This girl called her a homewrecker a couple of days ago, and now you're saying that you never dated him? Like, and you left this whole ass paragraph on Instagram saying that their home's been broken and naturally when people file for divorce, they move on and why can't they spend their time with new people and blah, blah, blah and all this other stuff. And now it's like, oh, I'm not dating him. We just friends and we both bosses making boss moves. Then why didn't you just say that like weeks ago?
Right, what was the point
and clear this up? None of this shit would have happened if you weren't dating him. You know you dating him and there's nothing wrong with that. It just seems like you're a little shook now because people are calling you names that you don't like. And again, I don't know her, so maybe it isn't fair for her to be called pass around bitch or whatever the fuck else. But it seems like a whole lot of people are coming out of the woodwork saying you're the one, this thing and that thing, and the next and the third and the fourth and the fifth. And to me, if you're putting yourself in a situation with somebody who you know is in the middle of a fresh divorce.
Right.
She just filed for divorce in December. So whether the home been broken or not, you know what they're going through because we all know what they're going through because he's famous and so is his wife. And yet you still entertaining it. So it's just like, to me, some things may not be right, but they're going to be fair because you're putting yourself in a position where people are going to judge you. You are gorgeous. You could date whoever it's a million TIs you could date.
Right.
So it just doesn't make any sense to me. And also, boss, you're walking out of Planet Fitness. Like,
you know, these girls throw up an Instagram boutique or something and all of a sudden they run shit. They're CEOs and shit. So it's
just aggy.
Yeah,
it's aggy.
She could have all that. I really don't get the whole, like, why offer this whole explanation about what people can and can't do and what is or isn't morally right if you're not fucking with him in the first place? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And maybe she said we're not dating because they aren't dating. Maybe all they are doing is fucking. Or maybe all they were doing was fucking. I don't know. But I do think she let the attention get, I think she rode the wave of people talking about her, and I don't know what she sells, but I'm sure she saw an increase in traffic to all of her stuff during that. So I think she just rode it out until it started to really get on her nerves, or people started picking her apart. And now she's like, oh, I'm better than that.
Yeah, she's aggravated now because people are saying all of these things about her. But I just feel like, girl, I don't care. It could be wrong, it could be right. She could be an outstanding citizen of wherever the fuck she's from, New Jersey, I guess, with that accent. And, she could have a master's. I really don't care. Mm-hmm. My whole thing is, all I see from you is lovely photos and that ass, and I will be hosting X, Y, and Z at whatever club that's named after an orgasm or something, and that's pretty much the extent of it. And there's a million women that are just as beautiful as you that have an actual boss that they report to from 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or whatever, and in many cases make more than all of y'all do, and they don't think that or don't realize it because, again, the right promoter and the right club person, you're able to be in Dubai because you find somebody to go fly you out there.
Because you
gonna look like you have that lifestyle. You're gonna chase the rapper or the athlete who can get you to keep that lifestyle so you can keep up appearances. And that I know girls like this. I know girls that know girls like this. Mm-hmm. And again, I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. But when you start spouting out, I'm a boss and stuff and like all this stuff, when you put yourself in a messy situation in the first place, it's just like, I don't care, sweetheart. Like,
I don't.
You should have
don't.
You could have been quiet and been like, I'm a fuck who I want to fuck.
You didn't have to fuck around with T.I. is the thing. Like, I don't understand. Like, it might be wrong for people to say whatever mean or possibly untrue things about you, but you didn't have to fuck with this nigga in the first place. Like,
you are like, that bitch could have
You
anybody.
knew who he was. He didn't get famous 6 weeks ago.
Right. You knew that home was wrecked and you did what you wanted to do, which is fine. You can fuck who you want to fuck, but then don't sit up here and be like, oh my goodness, this is so outlandish. Niggas respect me. I would never. Like, what?
You knew you would be talked about in doing this. So are we supposed to all be like, oh no, don't talk about Bernice?
That's why you did it. To be talked about.
So congratulations. Right, you got what you wanted.
I just don't care. Please be quiet. Like, at the end of the day, whether you're with a T.I. or not, all of that stuff, with that Planet Fitness membership,
you just go right ahead.
Somebody's going to be helping you take care of that lifestyle. That's all I'm saying from the outside looking in. I could be ignorant as fuck, and I'll take that because I don't give a shit about anybody involved in this. What I'm saying is, also from the outside looking in, Tiny is out here progressing this bag and doing what she's got to do, and T.I. is always going to have T.I. money. Yeah. So all of these, that other shit is going to come and it's going to go, and it's just going to continue to happen. It's so stupid.
Tiny is really looking like when God closed a door, he opened a window and let the blessings pour in. Cause like,
absolutely.
It's just been like glow up after glow up coming. Maybe she can go get her eyes changed back.
I was about to say, even with those, do you want to build a snowman eyes? It's like starting to fit her face and all be right. Almost look natural, like you were born with it.
Oh no. Oh,
but
okay. Well,
good luck to everybody involved.
Sure.
And I guess that will just be that for this era of the read.
The era?
Segment. Right. Whatever. Take a break. This week's episode of The Read is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. First of all, congratulations to all of you entrepreneurs and big risk takers for stepping out on faith and building your own business. You've got a lot coming your way, and one thing that can definitely be a headache is finding the right people to fit in your business. That's why ZipRecruiter is the place for you, and it's the perfect place to find the perfect hire. ZipRecruiter has over 9 million resumes you can search through in their database, and when you post a job listing, it goes to over 200 job sites and social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, just like that. Seek out the ideal candidates in any city or industry nationwide. Just post one time and watch your qualified applicants roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. It's just that easy. And if you run into any issues, ZipRecruiter's friendly and human support staff is ready to help. Right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/theread. That's ZipRecruiter.com/theread. It's that simple. Go check them out. Let them know we sent you, and let's move on. All right, we are back, and it's time for listener letters.
It sure is. Send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com. We may just read them aloud on the show. A lot of people wrote in last week with help for Fashionably Late, the young lady who is faced with having to work at Trump Tower off and on over the next few months. And said, good luck to you, girl. May God be with you.
I mean, that's all I could get.
Some other people in the fashion industry who kind of have similar issues said that they have black women mentors around them, and like they've deliberately sought out relationships with other black women just in the industry or in their workplace or whatever, just because like we all need each other at this time. So again, I would recommend you getting you a good girlfriend and praying a lot about it. But thank you to everybody who sent in advice. Our first question this week.
Sad.
I mean, it's just like
that's
do
best.
I want to pay my rent? Or do I want to keep my soul intact?
Therapy, I guess. The best we can
damn.
do is just hold
Call
each other.
Talkspace, girl.
Really, honestly,
Get
go
you
for
a
it.
Talkspace membership and talk to somebody about it.
What is life?
So Salem emails us and says, my boyfriend and I have been in a long distance relationship for about a year, and we recently made the decision to move in together when he relocates permanently to Chicago.
First mistake.
A few weeks ago, I found a stray puppy and I decided to keep her. This was before we made the decision to shack up. He thought the idea of me having a dog was cute initially, but now that he's moving in, he feels like the dog is a nuisance. He came last weekend to start moving stuff, and he complained about the dog the whole time. Whenever I hug or pet her, he asks me to wash my hands before I touch him or be intimate. He even put her in the backyard while I was at work without asking me first. My dog is terrified of him, and I'm concerned because she was clearly mistreated as a stray, and I do not want her to feel frightened in her own home. Although she was a stray, she has all her shots and a clean bill of health. She's a good puppy and hardly ever barks. I don't kiss her in the mouth or let her in the kitchen or bed.
That's right.
Amen, girl. So I don't get his attitude. When I confront him, he says things like, I think you should just get rid of the dog. Please give me advice on how I can handle this situation without losing my man or my dog. Love, Salem. Well,
I would just lose the man.
I mean, that was my very first thought. I was like, I don't think you can get through this without losing one, and I would get rid of the nigga. But I don't think he's irrational to ask you to wash your hands before you touch him or before y'all have sex. I would ask the same thing if we had a pet and my spouse was handling the pet. Like, you can play with the pet, the dog, all you want to, but wash your hands before you come put them on my titties or something. Like, I don't want dog paw
if we're gonna
cells
be
on me.
Intimate, yeah, you should be clean,
right? Like,
like
right. So I don't think he's wrong for that, but him putting the dog in the backyard without asking you or telling you seems.
He just don't like dogs, period. That's all that it is. It doesn't really seem like there's going to be much of a compromise that you can go with that's going to make him happy or whatever. And I prefer dogs over people, period.
Right.
So for me, like, cut and dry, I'm just going to give it to you. I would tell that nigga, like, look, if you don't like it, you can always leave. So, because I love this dog, I am going to make sure that I can make this dog happy or keep this dog happy. And all you doing is stressing this dog the fuck out. And there's no need for that. Now, if you don't want for me to touch you with my hands or whatever after I play with the dog or pet her or whatever, that's fine. I can respect that.
Yeah.
But respect that this is my dog and I'm going to keep this dog, and I expect for you to treat the dog kindly and respectfully and don't terrify the bitch or do anything without my permission. Period.
Like, you don't even have to go play with her or whatever, but don't be fucking mean to her.
Leave,
don't be
at the best, you could just leave the goddamn dog alone.
Right.
Period.
Somebody who mistreats animals is just not somebody I would have around me.
Period. That's what I'm saying. Like, we doing way more talking than I thought I was going to do. Because I was just be like, oh, really? Like, that's how you feel? A dog? Really? A stray dog that ain't do shit to you?
Yeah.
Well, you can always, how about I put you outside?
Dogs might be the only animal I really like. I'm not an animal person in general, but I would never mistreat or abuse or fuck with somebody's animal at the same time because, you know, that living being didn't do shit to me and doesn't deserve that. So if he's being an asshole to your dog, then I would say definitely get rid of him. But if not, if it's just like a general get that from around me type situation, then
I'm not
you
getting
just have
rid
to
of my
set
dog.
right. You have to set clear boundaries. Like, fine, I will cleanse myself. I won't bring dog breath over to you. Nothing like that. Fine, we can agree on that. But this dog lives here, and I'm not gonna get rid of her. So either you can find a way to deal with it, or we won't be together.
And if he doesn't want to be with you because you have a dog, then
I mean, of all things,
then he can go. Like, honestly, that's the dumbest fucking thing to want to break up with somebody for or leave somebody for, in my opinion. But if it's that deep, then trust me when I tell you, he's meant to leave.
Yeah.
So,
because it just seems like maybe he's controlling in a way. It's
bitch,
like
please.
you were good with the idea of a dog in theory, and then it happened, and now you're like just being a brat about it. Putting the dog outside without asking me would really be what pissed me off. Like, that's my dog, and this is my house. So
I don't even understand what
and
the
you don't
fuck
even
you
live
think
here.
you're doing.
So what the fuck are you doing? That would piss me off. Like, it's not even really it's definitely about the dog, but it's like, you need to respect that this is my house and that dog belongs to me. So don't fuck with anything in my house without asking me first.
Or you can just go.
But I mean, that's all there is to that.
Because at the very least, if that nigga leaves and doesn't come back, that dog will keep you great company. Right. I wish a nigga would come in my house and tell me that I gotta get rid of Link. Bitch, I will never see your ass again much faster than I get rid of my dog, and she can't stand me.
Right, because
like, it's like, I'm watching Belly.
Why are you talking to me? I mean, if you're sad or heartbroken or whatever, dogs, pets, animal companions can cheer you up, especially dogs. Like for me, like they lick your face and they just want you to be happy.
That's one thing that we got under wraps.
Link doesn't lick you because you got quickly. Her to not do that.
She will be right in my face too sometimes, like getting real close to
like
sniff it.
Can I lick you?
You were just eating something good. That's as far as it gets.
You should get all up on your lips like, I could smell it. Is it Cheetos?
It's like real close.
What is it?
It just
smells
barbecue.
So delicious.
Right.
But she knows better.
But she never crosses that line. She ain't stupid.
Yeah, no. The animals over people forever.
Forever and forever. Like, I'm sorry.
People are flawed as shit. You probably ain't even like that nigga in another year. Anyway, good luck to you. At the bare minimum, lay down some ground rules about your house and your things. Let us know how it goes. Our next question comes from, let's call her Carla. She says, my sister-in-law is graduating from Liberty University in May. And I just want to say, we got 3 letters from people this week about this same topic.
Okay.
One of them is actually graduating from Liberty and the other 2 are invited. It was just announced last week that President Circus Peanut will be the commencement speaker for the ceremony.
Wow.
When my sister-in-law texted me and told me, my immediate text back to her was, are you kidding? I am not going to that. Hell no. She responded, you would just drop me like that? And I said, yes, because of that clown, I will. I will go to your individual degree ceremony where they call your name, but there is no way in hell I'm sitting through any words from that asswipe. She got quiet and I explained to her that it is of course not personal, but I just can't because he is a wretched human who is making the office of the presidency an international joke, and I told her I would pray about it. I've consulted some friends and gotten mixed responses along racial lines, which is not a surprise to me.
At all.
Including some who say that she, who is also black, shouldn't attend her damn self. What should I do? I'm super proud of my sister-in-law's achievements and finally getting her bachelor's as a 40-plus-year-old wife and mother of 3, but I definitely do not want to be sitting there getting my blood pressure up listening to King Douche. Plus, in terms of support, I feel like I'm already giving you the whole weekend with all the ceremonies, parties, etc., and that is a particularly hard weekend for me because my mother passed a couple years ago, so even the thought of being in Virginia on Mother's Day is already trying enough. Would it be wrong of me to skip this one part of the weekend? Please help. Carla, which is a fake name I just gave her.
I don't know if it would be wrong.
Absolutely. I'm going to say it's absolutely not wrong. Because the thing about college is almost all universities, they have like smaller graduation ceremonies for the people in your specific college. And then they have the big one where they spend lots of money on a speaker and everybody comes and all that. And so I feel like the smaller graduation is the real one anyway that most people care about. So if my family was like, I would be willing to come to that, but not to go see Donald Trump at your big ceremony, I would be more than okay with that because I also am not going to graduation if Donald Trump is the speaker. I wouldn't be going.
I won't be there. So
right.
I just don't see.
So I don't see anything wrong with you being like, sis, I'm not going to that. I'm really sorry. I know. I mean, I'm so proud of you and I'm coming down. I got a gift. I'm putting in on your birthday, your graduation dinner and all that. We got balloons. Like, I'm totally part of the celebration. So happy for you. Just cannot make it to that one thing. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I wouldn't be able to do it either. I don't know about your family, but I know that my family, first of all, none of them niggas would ever be there either. But just like, I'm just saying, like, let's say that my brother was graduating or something and Donald Trump was speaking at it and he was going. And I told him, I wouldn't even have to. I would call my brother up and be like, look, and he'd be like, I didn't think so. It's fine. Like, it's totally okay.
Don't worry
I'll
about
see you at Cheesecake Factory afterwards or whatever. Like,
meet us at Brahms, girl.
Right. It's cool.
9:30.
Whatever.
We'll be there.
It's totally fine. I don't care.
My brother would call me like, sis, don't take this the wrong way, but Donald Trump is speaking at graduation, and I just think it's for the best if I don't give you a ticket.
Yeah. Like, not even wait for you to say anything.
Right. Not even going to give me the chance.
You're just not invited.
You can't come.
You're just not allowed to be there.
And I'll be like, that's fair. Because it's going to be a bunch of Make America Great Agains at that whole fucking... I mean, it's a Christian school anyway. It's called Liberty University. So you know what's happening going into it. Like, Liberty University is a mess.
Liberty.
But just the thought of being surrounded by all those white faces, and you know they are bringing those Make America Great Again hats. Oh, God. And there's going to be a Snapchat filter, and
everybody's going to be wearing those damn red ties.
Oh, God. No, I can't do it. Fuck that.
I think the red tie is like a symbol for bloodlust.
It's starting to feel that way, ain't it?
I don't know. But yeah, no, I totally wouldn't go. And if they love you, they would totally understand.
Yeah, I mean, this is your sister-in-law at that, not your sister. So I would tell whoever is married to her.
Max, oh well.
I would tell my brother, listen, you need to talk to your wife because I cannot tell her she don't want me there, really. She don't really want me there.
Right. Right. If it does get to, well, I mean, can't you then you just transform it into, in full honesty, you don't want me to be there. Like, I'm actually doing you and everybody else a favor.
I would be like, sis, let's think about this. Come on, think about me. Think about how long you've known me, the type of bitch that I am, the things that I turn. I'll be ready to fight white people for anything. Do you really want me at your graduation getting arrested and embarrassing you? Is that what you want? Is this what you want? You don't want that. You don't want me to slap the shit out of 8 white people at your graduation and cause a ruckus.
Grandma boxing with Secret Service.
Oh, God. And then you had to deal with the fucking Secret Service? Oh, that the traffic and the lines and the security and everything about that day is going to suck.
And you know he's making us pay about $5 million more just for extra added everything because everybody hates that bitch.
Right. No.
Even at a Christian university, he won't be covered with God.
Okay. God ain't got nothing to do with Donald Trump, and really, honestly, probably ain't got nothing to do with Liberty University either.
Nothing to do with it.
So no. Stay firm in this. Do not go to that. It's for your own health.
I definitely wouldn't.
And she'll be all right. She'll get over it. So our last question comes from Brittany. She says, this question is primarily for Kid Fury, but Crystal, feel free to chime in as everyone struggles with this in life. I struggled with whether I should even ask this question, but I have depression and balancing staying true to myself and not changing who I am just to fit into societal norms, such as plastering a smile on my face to make other people feel warm and fuzzy so you won't get called mean and rude all the time, which I do. I remember you saying you have resting bitch face too, but you also don't have a problem with friendships like I do. I struggle with this severely. The combination of depression, being an introvert, and having a pretty quiet life is wearing me down from all angles. How do you do with misperceptions or being called mean often when you know you're not? In fact, that you're struggling with depression and trying to stay true to yourself. Thank you. Please don't say this part. Oh, never mind. So I won't say the part after that.
Right. Well,
Ooh, sorry, Brittany. Sorry, girl. I almost fucked it up, but I didn't. Save myself.
I just don't care, honestly. I think that's what it is. It sounds so, I guess maybe cliche would be the word. I don't know, but I really don't. I think that you're going to be called a lot of things in your life that aren't true. And people are going to say a lot of things about you that are not true or that aren't true to you. And so wasting your time and energy battling with people over, the honesty of yourself, who am I and what I mean and what my intentions are and all that other type of shit. Like, show and prove. Just be the best, most honest you that you could possibly be. If that is a depressed, introverted, quiet motherfucker, then that's who you are for now. If you want more out of that, And that's what you want. But at the end of the day, everything that you do and the choices that you make have to be something that you are going to be able to sleep with at night, that make you and keep you happy. And outside influences shouldn't have anything to do with that. So that's when I say, like, if people call you mean and you know that you're not being mean, you're just, dealing with depression and it keeps you quiet and you're not friendly and you don't give a fuck to talk to people or make friends. Like, that's just, who you are. It's not necessarily mean to me. Like, I've always had an issue with this. Like, I've had so many times where I've had to ask people, like, what is so offensive about me not saying shit to none of y'all? Like, why is it so hard?
Well, people want you to like them. Specifically you.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who I know that know me and that have known me.
Gotcha.
I'm talking about people who know me personally. If I'm not speaking, or even if you just meet me too, like if I'm not talking to you or I'm not talking to anybody, how does that, like, what is so awful about that? It would be mean to me for me to be speaking to you and saying things that are not kind, which I can do.
Oh, God.
But I choose not to most times because that leads to a whole type of thing that I don't want to get into. And again, I don't like to argue or fuss or fight because I don't like the way that it makes me feel. So these are, again, choices that I make for me and what is going to keep me at peace. Now, if you aren't talking to anybody, if you're not getting any kind of help, I suggested try the talk space, try anything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just, again, for your own thing, not to make friends. Not everybody needs friends. I think that everybody should have at least a couple people in their corner that they can go to that they trust, whether it's your family or not. But not everybody needs to be a social butterfly that's just climbing the rafters and saying, hey, God, I'm just taking a slice out of life today and the world's my oyster. Well, like, no, not everybody is like that. Myself, within the past year, I was after my grandma died is when I was like, okay, I need to break out of my shell a little bit. I'm going to try and be more social. And I would start going out to parties more and actually speaking to people and making more of an effort to smile. I don't feel like different in terms of myself, the type of person I am, or the way I feel about people. I do think that it's a little bit easier for me to be nicer to people when I first meet them. And it's not even about being nicer. It's more about being like willing to be open and like receptive to like a conversation or meeting somebody or getting to know someone, even if it's just for a couple hours or a couple minutes or whatever. Whereas before, it just kind of be like, I don't know you and I don't need to, please go away.
Right. Like airplanes.
But that is just, again, that was something for me. I was like, I spent so many years in a bubble. I want to see, like how different life might be if whatever, I'll take the L. It's been a while, whatever. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Once again.
Either way, I tried to do something a little bit more for myself. In the end, I did see that, I can be a little bit more social, and it was nice to feel that way. And I'm good. Like now I'm just like, all right, yeah, I tried it out, made a couple of new friends or whatever. That was fine. But I don't feel like that's something that I needed to do. I don't feel like you have to be any certain type of way. If you're not going out of your way to hurt people, if you're not intentionally being, hurtful to people for no reason at all, and that's just how you are all of the time, and you have no friends and you're just a Disney villain, then yeah, maybe you should go and try something a little bit different. But if you just know that you have something that you're struggling with mentally and emotionally, deal with that shit. Because odds are, even when you do get a little bit more help and you feel like you're in a more peaceful place, you probably won't feel that differently about people. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to be someone who's just going to be like, hey, bitch, I'm here, everybody. Oh, hey, I ain't seen you in 3 months. Oh, my God, let's all take a selfie together. That's not ever going to be
I can't even picture that.
But I'm good with the me that I am, so it's good enough. It pays the bills, and I don't,
and that's what matters.
Have a bunch of vendettas in the street.
Yeah,
that's my knowledge.
The only thing I would add to that is, it might be helpful for you to talk to the people that you do consider friends. Like, if they are getting the wrong impression about whatever, or they think you're being mean or closed off when really you're just dealing with stuff, it might be helpful to say, hey, I don't really know how to talk about this, but I'm kind of struggling with some stuff mentally and I don't always feel the best. And so, maybe that offers some context for them and they can be like a better friend to you because they're not taking it personally. They're not like, oh, she's mad at me or, oh God, I did something, like just saying, this is something I struggle with. And so it's nothing personal, that sort of thing that might help as far as your personal relationships are concerned. But I think Kid Fury's right, for the most part, you are who you are. And if you're not the super chatty or always have a smile on your face type person, then you're just not that type. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
everybody ain't like that.
Right.
And the world would be very
that's not
weird
even
if it
necessarily
were.
a depressed thing. Like, there are plenty of people who aren't struggling with depression and still are just not queen friendly. Just not that.
Like, not everybody is social and walks into a room and is just ready to be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And that's totally okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that society just kind of makes us feel like everybody's supposed to be a sunflower all of the time. And that's just irrational.
Or sometimes you get called mean when what you really are is just like not interested in participating in whatever other dumbness is going on.
Or you're just honest.
Right. Or you're honest, or you're like the only black person at work and white people are talking about cats and casseroles and you can't relate. And so you're mean because you can't come over and talk to them about the last episode of Girls and, oh my God, what's Hannah going to have and all this.
You never want to talk to us. We have nothing. And I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Other people's perception.
Did you watch Amy Schumer's? No. See,
No,
I don't. See, you lost me
we
already.
aren't friends.
This is why it doesn't make any sense. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, other people's perception of you matters way less than who you know you are. So try not to let that get to you. But good luck. Send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com and we'll be back.
Today's episode of The Read is being brought to you by Casper Mattresses. The Casper is an obsessively engineered mattress at a shockingly fair price. Supporting memory foams create an award-winning sleep surface with just the right sink and just the right bounce. It is true. I don't know if you've ever laid your pleasantries down on a Casper mattress before, but it feels like kind of like a giant Ayanla Van Zant mammy boob.
Titty? Yes.
I didn't want to say titty.
Okay, well, yeah. But it is nice like that.
Fine company, but it is like laying on a bosom. Casper understands the importance of truly sleeping on a mattress before you commit, especially considering you're going to spend a third of your whole life on it. That's why right now you can try the Casper for 100 nights risk-free in your own home. If you don't love it, they'll pick it up and refund you everything. With over 20,000 reviews and an average of 4.8 stars, it's quickly becoming the internet's favorite mattress. So, Crystal, tell them what they get.
You can get $50 towards any mattress purchase by visiting www.casper.com/read and use offer code READ. They've got all kinds of different sizes. They ship straight to you. And again, the Casper mattress is super, super comfortable. Go ahead and try them out. Casper.com/read. Use offer code READ. Free shipping to the U.S. and Canada. Kid Fury still ain't put his phone on mute. Terms and conditions do apply. So again, Casper.com/read. Offer code READ. And let's move on.
Thank you again to Talkspace for supporting this week's episode of The Read. Talkspace is an online therapy company, and they make it incredibly easy to connect with a licensed therapist, handpicked just for you for as little as $32 American a week. Mm-hmm. With Talkspace, you can text, audio, and video message your therapist as much as you want. Your Talkspace therapist can listen to you vent about your work, family, this BS that we're living in with that giant circus peanut. Is that what we're calling him?
That's him.
Toe fungus kind of looks like him. Also Lynx vomit. You can talk to him about anything that you want. It is incredibly easy and confidential. To sign up or to learn more, go to Talkspace.com/read. That's Talkspace.com/READ. And a special offer for our listeners, you can use coupon code READ to get $30 off your first month and show your support for this podcast. Again, that's Talkspace.com/read and coupon code READ. Talkspace, therapy for how we live today. Now let's finish up. Okay, we are back and it is now time for The Read.
It sure is. Do you have one this week or?
Yeah, it should be really.
Oh, God.
So, two things. First, as I was flying back home to New York from Dallas this past weekend, we were flying on one of those baby planes, with those skinny mini planes. Actually, it wasn't one of like the really small ones, but it was like the 2 on one side, 2 on the other side sort of deal.
Still a little too small for me.
Still too small for me, but I've been on smaller, so I had to count my blessings. Either way, flying back to New York from Dallas, Fort Worth, I believe is the airport. Now, I fly Delta all the time, and you and I, we both fly all the time.
Yes.
So we do this. We've been on a couple.
I know how to fly.
Whatever reason, on this flight, Asante is sitting right next to me. Michelle, who has been on the road with us, helping out one of Alex's best friend, who you'll probably recognize from dancing like crazy at either parties that I throw or in promo videos with me and Naima or somebody else.
She went hiking with Naima on Sisterhood of Hip Hop.
Oh, yes. So Michelle is crazy fun. So she's sitting right beside Asante. I'm at the window. Asante's in the aisle. So at one point when they bring in the drinks and stuff, I asked one of the attendants, who is a black guy, I asked him, do you have any tea? And he didn't answer me. He just gave me a tea bag and then starts to pour the hot water. I didn't say anything. Again. All right. I looked at the tea bag and it said black tea, and I don't really drink black tea like that, but I decided not to make a fuss because he was already pouring the water. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I was expecting that when I said, do you have tea? The response would have been like, yes, we've got such and such, because there's so many different types of tea. You've got peppermint, you've got ginger, you got lemon ginger, you got chamomile, you got chai, you got jasmine. You have so many green, white, black, orange, all kinds of different tea. So I thought that he would tell me this is the type of tea that we have. He did not do that. But again, I am the type of person, I don't like to be immediately combative because I don't like the place that it takes me to. I don't like getting angry. I don't like the way that it makes me feel. And again, we're on a plane. It's like, it's pretty early. I want to say maybe 9 or something in the AM. So it's kind of like start of the day flight, whatever. And everybody's, just kind of getting their shit together. So I'm not trying to make no big deal out of it. I said, well, let's see what this shit tastes like. So he gives me 2 sugars, put it in a cup. It's awful.
It's so bad.
So he's gone, but I pushed the little flight attendant button. You hear a plane wide ding.
Of course.
And the little green light up above comes on. It's taking them a while. I didn't make a big deal out of it because I said he's serving. So it's going to take him a while. He can't come right back. So eventually I see him coming back up the aisle with the cart. He sees light. He doesn't say anything, but he keeps going. He's got to put the stuff away. I don't make a big deal out of it. Maybe 10 or so minutes go by. Here he comes again down the aisle. He looks at the light. He keeps going. He doesn't say anything. Now, I didn't say anything to him at that point because I'm thinking maybe somebody else and I didn't realize, or there might be something. Let me just not say anything.
Your patience is amazing at this point.
Because I did what I was supposed to do. Like I needed help. I buzzed the thing to show you that I needed help. At this point, the ball is literally in your court. I'm not going to keep doing it. Like you see the light. What? This isn't, we're not flying to Paris. We're not going to Australia. We aren't going to Saturn, Jupiter, or Mars. So this is a very small flight and it wasn't full. So I was confused as to why I wasn't getting help at some point. But after that point, I said, you know what? I'm just going to wait for them to come with the garbage thing and I'm going to just throw the fucking tea away. I'm not even going to make a big deal. Because originally I was going to ask him for a ginger ale instead. I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just going to wait. So eventually something happened. Like I had to lean over and get something out of the pocket.
Seat pocket?
Yeah. And that person jerked forward a little bit and the tea fell over all over my jeans. It fell into the pocket where my phone was. So my phone was wet. My Jordans are wet.
Oh, no.
My bag. So I'm fuming. And I get up. No, I ring the thing again. and nobody's coming. And I look up and it's the black stewardess up at the front and like a Latina girl. Mm-hmm. And they're chit-chatting. And so Asante had to get up. Asante had to get up because he got wet too. And so he gets out and I go up the aisle and I go up to them and I'm just like, can I have some napkins? Because I spilled that damn tea all over myself or whatever. And the attendant, the guy goes, oh, there are napkins in the bathroom, like heavy duty napkins. I said, can I have some napkins? Because I spilled the tea. Like,
that's not what I.
So the girl goes into the bathroom and grabs me a couple of napkins and hands them out to me. And I just take them from her and I just walk back to my seat. I didn't say thank you or nothing because I was pissed. Mm-hmm. And the fact that she would say, oh, there are napkins in the bathroom. Bitch, you're a flight attendant. Like, your job is to attend to people on the bitch, like, your job is to do. You want what? Anyway, I go back to my seat. I'm wiping off my stuff and everything, and I sit back down. When I tell you, like 2 minutes later, the girl who gave me the napkins is now coming down the aisle with the bag to throw stuff away. She gets to the aisle right in front of us, or to the rows right in front of us, turns to her left, gets her little bag, trash from everyone, turns to her right, gets her little trash from them over there, comes to the one now with me and Asante, turns over to where them other people are across from us, gets the trash, and then she moves forward.
What? No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
Everybody lived on this flight?
So I had my headphones on like this and I just knocked them off. I said, excuse me.
Oh, I know you was heated.
I said, excuse me. You see that I have stuff to throw away. And she turned or whatever, like real slow and looked at me. And I just threw them at her.
Oh my God.
I lost it. I mean, it was 3 napkins. It was a boulder and it didn't even hit her. But I just tossed them at her or whatever. Because I was like,
wow.
She intentionally, first of all,
damn.
My phone was wet, my pants wet, my shoes wet, my bag wet from this tea that y'all should have came and got forever ago. And you and homie walked past me a gang of times seeing the light on and didn't say anything to me. Then you tried to get me to go get my own napkins and then had an attitude with me because you had to go into the bathroom and get the napkins for me. And then you intentionally passed me. You knew I had trash to throw away, girl. You just gave it to me. And you knew what I had to use it for. And then you turn around looking real slick when I said, girl, what? So I threw them at her.
Amazing.
And she goes, that's terrible. And I said,
that's it, girl.
I said, you're right. It is terrible. Just like you're terrible and so's your mother. And I put on my headphones and I went back to listening to, I don't know, Mike What Made It or some ghetto shit. And apparently I didn't hear this, but Michelle said all of the white women in the vicinity like gasped. Like everyone in like a certain circumference.
I know they did.
Like all the white women were, oh my goodness, her mother? Oh my God. That's why I started the show with your mother. Yes, your mother. I said it. I'm grown. I say what I want. Because, excuse me, like...
They had you fucked up, friend. They did. They had you fucked up. They did.
Now, I don't encourage people to just be going around throwing things at people.
That sounds like assault. I'm surprised you didn't get in trouble for that. I really am.
I don't give a fine.
Because it sounds like how you can't throw nothing at MTA workers.
Right. Like, that's what I thought of, like, after I did it. But I didn't care. Like, I was so furious. Like, no pun intended. I was trying like the best to keep myself together. And Michelle didn't even get a drink. They passed her and didn't even ask her what she wanted to drink. But you saw me with these napkins and you passed me on purpose. And I did not do anything to anybody. I'm the one who got the scalding hot tea to fall on me. And actually, I'm lying. The tea wasn't hot by that point. But I was the one who was drenched in your nasty black tea that I didn't even fucking want after I was trying to be reasonable with y'all. And you bitches were the one on that motherfucking flight not wanting to do your goddamn job. So I bet you the next time that you hear a ding on a motherfucking Delta aircraft, you will take your black, white, Latina, green, beige, whatever color ass over to that seat and ask them, how may you motherfucking help them? That's it. That's it. I don't try to make a big deal. I tip. I say thank you. I say please. I say may I. I don't just go around like a fucking tyrant and just treat everybody like garbage. But you had me absolutely full circle fucked up that day. And my mother would be absolutely ashamed of me if she knew that I threw them napkins at your ass. But you know what? I don't regret it. How dare you?
Oh, Lord. And you know what, friend? I'm honestly totally with you because you exercised a great deal of patience in sitting there even after you had rung the attendant bell, especially on Delta of all airlines. I just don't expect lazy service. So I don't care if it's a commuter flight or not. The fact that they sat there and ignored you with that little light on and then the tea spilled, I would have been like, it's your fault the tea spilled because you should have been came and got this from me. I cut the fucking light on.
Exactly. And not only did I cut the light on waiting for you to come get the tea that is now covering my jeans and things, but I decided after you said fuck me that I just wasn't going to make a big deal out of it. I said it was quite like I could have fussed. I could have yelled at y'all ages ago when you walked past me 13 goddamn times and didn't pick it up when you saw this big bright green light in your fucking face. And I didn't. I left you. I let you cook and you disrespected me time after time after time. So you were going to hold these heavy duty napkins, that homeboy. And I was pissed because when I went to go get off of the flight, he wasn't standing up in the front because I wanted to give it to his ass too. But he got missing. She probably went back and was like that bitch that we tried it with. Threw them napkins at me and his ass was missing because she was up at the front when we were getting off or whatever and was like, I was waiting. I was like, ooh, I want her to say something to me when I get up off this flight because that captain is going to be right there and I'm going to make a huge deal. I'm going to tell all your business. I'm going to make sure if you just got this job, today is going to be your last day because not only did I have shit that like now my things are sullied and soiled. But it's because of you, and then you were rude to me. All I did was talk about your mama and throw some napkins at you that really didn't even touch you. Right. So,
I mean, I don't really see the issue here.
So I don't feel bad at all, and you will think twice the next time you want to get on one of these fucking planes and try it with somebody. How dare you? But all she said to me was, "Have a good day," and I didn't say anything back. I was really tempted to say, "Have a bad one, sis." But I just left her alone. I felt like I did enough.
Delta just...
So that was my read. Also, I just really want to quickly point out that I'm troubled with this It movie. This isn't a read, but the trailer for the new It came out today. And as a fan of horror movies and a fan of the original It movie, I'm just a little concerned. Because first of all, you know, Tim Curry's It is just... timeless and classic, but also the things that made, I was maybe like 10 or 11, 12. I don't know how old I was when I saw it for the first time, but it wasn't the first scary movie I saw. And I don't remember being like petrified. Oh my God, this is the scariest movie ever. It just fucked me up for life. It wasn't that scary to me, but it was scary and I did enjoy it. And I liked it because it was subtle how scary it was. He looked like a regular ass clown that just happened to be an evil monster that was terrorizing a town and then killing kids and whatever the fuck this shit was. This is now like they're making him look scary and it's like they're trying to make it this new age horror that's just in your face, pop up at you scary. Like, did you ever watch it? You don't watch
No, but
movies.
I had a Stephen King moment in my youth and I read pretty much all his books.
So you read the book?
Yes.
Okay. So the book is definitely better than the miniseries was.
Stephen King's books are phenomenal. I put them up there with anybody's.
I mean, I don't think that there's a Stephen King movie or any kind of adaptation.
Thinner really fucked me up.
I think his books have always been better than the films and shows, but it was definitely like the original miniseries or movie, whatever you want to call it. I enjoyed it because I thought that they did it like in the scene where Georgie has like the spoiler, I guess. I don't know where the fuck you been. But when that little paper boat goes into the sewer and Pennywise the clown pops up and starts chatting with him, like Georgie was already dumb for talking to a fucking clown that's in a fucking sewer. Just like, oh, hey, girl. So what you doing? Like, he was already done for that, but he looked like a regular clown. So it was like, he's a little kid. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? But, you know, I'm just chilling, you know, hey, you know, that kind of was already bizarre. But the fact that you made this clown now look terrifying and gross and grotesque and weird and kind of like Mandark from Dexter's Laboratory, like now how am I supposed to, like, it won't make any sense at all for this kid to be talking to this ugly bitch. And this is what? I'm going to go see it because it does still kind of look like it's going to be good as a horror movie, but it looks like they're taking out some of the subtle stuff that made it scary. Him just skipping down the street in that picture and then jumping up on this light and being like, hey, kids, I'm a regular clown just like anyone else, but I'm going to murder you and everyone that you love. That's what made it scary to me. Not that they had to do all these special effects and have them come out of the water and whatever the fuck extra shit they're about to do with this shit. So I hope it's still good. I'm excited to see it or whatever, but I don't think it's going to be like the first one. And it's definitely not going to be as good as the book. But we'll see. Maybe.
Well, that makes me think of Jumanji and how they're changing it from a board game to a video game.
That looks dreadful.
I'm like, let's just not do a Jumanji remake then. And I understand, kids these days probably don't play that many board games and, you making it video games to modernize it or whatever, but it just is not. No, I mean, I just feel the same way. Like, I feel like this new version is not going to be anywhere near as good. And there's no Robin Williams. I mean, I get, The Rock or whatever. He's super fine and all this, but it's just not the same. So,
I like the concept of the fact that the actors in the movie are playing like avatars, so they're actually going to have to. I'm assuming, I don't really know because obviously I haven't seen it, but they're going to have to act as if they're somebody that isn't their body, if that makes sense. Like the avatar, it's just like the character that you pick in a game.
Yeah.
So Jack Black, I read, is like a girl.
Oh, really?
Picked his character. And so I'm assuming that what would make the movie interesting is that Jack Black is going to be this guy who's dressed like he's going on a safari or whatever, but he's going to have the mannerisms and behavior and vocabulary of like a schoolgirl.
I mean, that could be
God only knows who the fuck Kevin Hart is supposed to be and whatever else. But I still don't want to see it because Jumanji is one of my favorite movies. And it just...
I'm just old. Don't fuck with my classics.
Or at least if you're going to do it again, then like take like the bits of the original that made it fun. Anyway, I'm still, I know that movie's going to scare the absolute shit out of some kids. So I guess either way, the job is done because that's what really did it for a lot of people. They were terrified of clowns. But that's the thing. Clowns are already creepy.
They are.
Like, can you just imagine if you were like walking down Times Square and then one of those Elmos or SpongeBob started following you for 10 blocks?
Hell no.
And then skipping around and laughing?
I would have turned around and punched the shit out of that thing.
That bitch don't have to look scary. That in itself is just creepy.
Yes.
So
anything that talks and its mouth doesn't move is terrifying.
It is.
So if you have that power, don't do it around me.
And I'm not even scared of clowns, but I could see why that is scary.
It is. It just is.
You're going to try and make it like The Conjuring or something. And I just feel like it's going to be stupid. Although The Conjuring, the first one was a lot of fun.
Every scary movie scares me. So
I love them.
We don't have to get started on that.
I love a good horror movie.
So,
Evil Dead was a good remake to me.
Evil Dead. Now, see, I didn't see the first.
You don't need to see any of them. Not for you.
Thank you so much.
1, 2, 3, none of them. You don't need to watch the series. That is not for you. Even though, what's her name? Oh God, why am I forgetting her name? From Girlfriends, Tony. Jill Marie Jones. Jill Marie Jones was in the Evil Dead show in the first season, and she was pretty good.
Well, if you tell me not to watch it,
but you definitely don't need to watch it. You won't sleep.
Okay, well, fuck that then. Okay, is that it?
Oh, yeah, that's mine.
Okay, so this week in White People Being White, first I want to go back to Black excellence and our auntie Maxine Waters because she has been tried repeatedly by white people, really over the course of her lifetime, but specifically since Trump has been nominated because she has been one of the few Democrats. Well, I won't say few, but I will say she seems to be one of the genuine Democrats who are more
unwavering.
More than anything else, we have got to get him the fuck out of office.
And I won't stop.
I don't care about making nice with him or anybody in his cabinet. I want all of them gone. And I really fucks with that. Anybody who is trying to work with Trump's administration, I don't want to hear shit from you. I want to hear from the people who are like, let's get this motherfucker out of here.
Fair enough.
So earlier this week, Bill O'Reilly's dumbass was on Fox and Friends.
I just hate him so much.
And they were playing a video of Queen Maxine Waters talking about how liberals who are fighting to get Donald Trump out of office are actually bigger and greater patriots than the Republicans who are falling in line with his dumb shit because, you know, they actually give a shit about America and they don't want it to be, you know, the junior version of Russia. And, you know, they just don't want this nigga Putin and all them to be running our shit over here.
Completely
just
irrational
small things,
really
you know,
stupid things,
small
unfair.
things that they care about.
Terrible, unfair.
So while she's actually saying things that, you know, are important and valid and people should be listening to, Bill O'Reilly says, I didn't hear anything she said. I was so totally distracted by this James Brown wig she have on. And then everybody is like, you know, the white woman is like, oh my goodness. And then of course the white man cracks up. That is just so funny to him.
Funniest thing he's ever
And so
heard
he
in his
keeps
life.
going. He's like, if you got a picture of James Brown, just look, it's the same wig. This is this. And I'm like, so, you know, whatever marginal amount of credit to the other little white woman. I don't know what her name is. It's something white. But she was like, you know, I have to defend her. You can't go after a woman's looks. This. I think she's very attractive. And so then Bill tries to follow it up with, oh, no, I didn't say she was unattractive. I'm just saying it's James Brown's hair. But I have a lot of respect for Maxine Waters. You know, I really think she's great. She should come on the show. And I would love to talk to her. This. And so there's lots of things wrong here.
Maxine Waters would probably rather swallow her own bile.
First of all, Maxine Waters is over here talking to people who actually matter, who have real power and influence in American government, such as herself. Bill O'Reilly certainly has power. He's a white man with a lot of influence, but she's actually working in government. Like, that is her job. So I would not be mad at all if Maxine Waters decided to focus on the people who actually matter. Secondly, I don't even know if there's words to describe how racist you have to be to address a woman, a black congresswoman, who is talking about certainly one of the biggest political scandals, if not the biggest political scandal I will ever see in my lifetime.
Probably.
And the fact that she's addressing this massive issue that affects not just America, but the whole fucking globe. And you were worried about her wig, which, by the way, is better than everything you've ever done in your entire life.
Every stretch of the way.
Every
Somebody
single
needed to say
pluck in her wig is better than your very best day, Bill O'Reilly. Like, you are not qualified to debate the wig, much less her. So the fact that you even said anything about it, like, you just want to diminish everything that this black woman is and stands for, everything that she knows, just the fact that she even exists. Like, you're so upset and pressed about it that the first thing you go to is her hair. And not even just talking about her hair, but deliberately calling it a wig and then tying it back into James Brown. You know, just like another way to cut at a black woman.
Yep.
Like, oh, that's her. The wig is this. And I know the little white girl tried, a little half-hearted try of like, oh, don't talk about her. I think she's very attractive. It's not really about whether you find Maxine Waters attractive. I really don't give a shit if your dick gets hard when you look at her, because that is totally fucking irrelevant. It has nothing to do with the words that she said. And so being like, oh, well, I'm just not listening to her because of the wig, is just like, what you're really saying is, I'm not listening to her because that's a black woman who's making good points and I don't feel like arguing with it, or I'm incapable of arguing with it because you can't argue the motherfucking truth, which is exactly what Angela Rye had to show that bitch Joe Walsh on CNN when she said, so anyway, I just wanted to make sure I addressed the fact that Bill O'Reilly is a total bitch and Maxine Waters is every fucking thing. But moving right along to Angela and Joe Walsh, that whole conversation was about how he had misconstrued something she said, where he was like, oh, Angela talking about Obama's the next best thing to Jesus. And she's like, if you actually watched, what I said was that Obama had to be the next best thing to Jesus. Like, he had to be like that just to get shit done. Like, y'all held, and so he was saying that they held Barack Obama. He said we held Barack Obama to a much lower standard than any other president because he was the first black one and everybody was afraid of stepping on toes or being called racist. And I'm thinking, now, I lived through the entire Obama presidency. It just ended like yesterday. So I remember it, you know? And I remember white people holding Barack Obama to an incredibly strict standard. I remember y'all actually,
pretty much
he was saying, oh, y'all, we didn't vet him. And it was just this kind of, and so the whole time Angela's face is screwed up because he's not saying anything that is factual or anything that makes sense. Like, we can all remember 2 years ago when y'all were beefing with President Barack Obama. He tried to get healthcare and shit signed into law and y'all arguing with him every fucking step step of the way. Every single thing he did, y'all challenged him on it. Fuck you mean he wasn't vetted? The fact that he was black and had a black wife meant during the entire fucking campaign, all they did was vet him. They spent so much time, so many man hours digging up whatever they could about President Obama, and the best they could come up with was maybe he wasn't born in America and the pastor of his church don't like white people. That was the best they could come up with during the campaign against Barack Obama. Donald Trump's scandals. Donald Trump got more scandals in any 4-hour time period than Barack Obama has had in his entire life. Can you imagine if President Obama said,
simple fact,
when you're famous, they let you do it. You can just grab them by the pussy. They would have impeached that nigga the next week. It wouldn't have been no way in hell. So again, shout out to Angela for handling that and just giving him straight, pure facts, and then reminding him, because that was the other thing. Joe Walsh called Barack Obama unqualified. It's just like, are you kidding me? Next to this reality show, the Celebrity Apprentice host, are you fucking kidding me? Like, he spent 10 years
Shut your mouth, Kate.
Which is longer than you spent in office. I will remind you, you served 1 term. So maybe you want to shut the fuck up.
Playboy.
Amen. So shout out to Angela Rye. Shout out to Maxine Waters. Fuck Bill O'Reilly.
2 smart snacks.
And fuck George Fott. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. George Fott or Fout. Probably Fart, who knows? But anyway, he's from Oklahoma. So, of course, anytime news comes out of Oklahoma, first of all, everybody in the world tags me in it. Thank you so much. Same. And secondly, it's almost always shitty because Oklahoma lawmakers are not known for being much better than that. So George Fott introduced this bill. It's a very radical anti-abortion bill introduced to the Oklahoma House last week, and it has already passed the House, is waiting for a vote in the Oklahoma Senate. And it is going to punish doctors who perform abortions in cases of Down syndrome or any genetic abnormality, even if the pregnancy is the result of incest or rape. These are like fines up to $100,000 for any doctors who violate the prohibition. And a woman who has had an abortion can file a civil lawsuit against the doctor who performed it. Now, this is just one of the many ways that conservative states try to make it illegal to get an abortion without actually making it illegal to get an abortion, which federally they cannot do. So they do everything they can to get around the issue and limit the number of abortions, or limit the number of abortions that are performed, period. And so the fact that there is no exception for cases of incest or rape is like really the issue that causes other people to speak up. Because even if you feel like abortion should be, universally granted and all access to it and all these other things, pretty much everybody can agree that rape victims should be allowed to decide what happens to their body, especially after something so traumatic. And of course, in cases of incest, those are almost always young girls who are being molested by older relatives. And so it's like, why would you want to inflict additional trauma onto somebody who has already been traumatized? Anyway, so Representative Corey Williams, who is a Democrat, asked him, is rape the will of God? And George said, well, if you read the Bible, there's a couple circumstances where it happened and the Lord uses all circumstances. And so you can go down that path. But unfortunately, rape is a reality. And so Corey follows it up like, is incest the will of God? And God says, same thing. It doesn't have anything to do with this bill. And so he points out, Corey says, it really does. Because if you're not making exceptions for rape or incest and you're saying that God is the reason that that this is the case, then I think it's important to know whether you actually believe that these things are the will of God. And so he says, it's a great question to ask. And obviously, if it happens in someone's life, it may not be the best thing that ever happened. But if you're saying that God is not sovereign with every activity that happens in someone's life and can't use anything and everything in someone's life, then I disagree with that.
Jesus.
So afterwards, he gave a statement to the news station down there and said, life, no matter how it is conceived, is valuable and something to be protected. Let me be clear. God never approves of rape or incest. However, even in the worst circumstances, God can bring beauty from ashes.
Oh my God.
Right? It was when I read the story, it got progressively worse. And it's just like, first of all, this is another link for me to add to the collection of when people ask me, why did you leave Oklahoma? It's like, I have a folder of news stories.
Right.
Like, okay, girl.
Here's the Bible-sized
yellow star on this
history
one.
that I've taken. Same with Florida.
This is just, people, these conservatives, these pro-life assholes, they are so worried about fetuses and pregnancies, and like they want to make sure that if for some reason you have a fertilized egg in your uterus, bitch, it better stay there. But the nanosecond you give birth, they are scrapping funding to every conceivable program that might help you and your baby get your shit together during its first years of life. They want to cut WIC. They want to cut food stamps. They want all women on Medicaid to if you give birth, you have to go back to work within 60 days. Bitch, that is 2 months. They want you to have no more than 2 months of staying at home with your newborn fucking infant, a whole human that you made with your body and shit it out of yourself. They want you to stay at home for 6 to 8 weeks at the most. And then you need to get your poor ass out there and get a job and find somebody to keep that fucking baby. Like, these people don't actually care about the lives of children or mothers. They don't care about well-being. They really don't care about life, period. They care about pregnancy. They don't give a shit about what happens to you once you get on the earth. That's none of our business. And you shouldn't have been poor and having kids in the first place. It's like the Republicans really want it both ways. But what I want to focus on here is him saying that even in the worst circumstances, God can bring beauty from ashes. The beauty from ashes is not a pregnancy that you are forced to keep. It is not having to be reminded of your rapist every day because you gave birth to that person's child. It is not having to think about the trauma that you went through, in childhood or as a young adult by your dad or your uncle or your cousin or whatever, because you were forced to keep a pregnancy that resulted from that. Beauty from ashes is actually having a loving support system of people you can talk to after you go through something horrible like that, and access to medical care that you can afford, which is something else Republicans have no intention or desire to provide, and having like a therapist you can fucking talk to because that's some real shit you went through. Beauty from ashes is actually healing from the horrible things that were done to you and finding peace and joy and happiness in life and managing to move on from the awful shit. That's what beauty from ashes is. Beauty from ashes is not some white man stuck up in Oklahoma somewhere who has no idea what it's like to ever go through anything even remotely stressful, telling you, a woman who has gone through something so horrific, I can't even imagine it, that now you're forced to carry this baby anyway. That's not beauty from ashes. That's you being an asshole and claiming to represent God when all the while, like we say all the time, every time y'all invoke God's name, I just know God is looking down like, this is not what I planned. This is not it. I'm not involved in this. Nobody invited me into that. I don't have nothing to do with that. God did not give you the license to say, well, on behalf of my nigga in the sky, you cannot have an abortion no matter what. You just don't, you don't have that dominion over someone else's life. Let God be sovereign in your life. Let God manage all of your decisions. Let God guide your path. You can't put your God on me because my God and your God ain't got shit to do with each other.
Clearly not.
My God would never tell a victim of rape or incest that she has to deal with anything that happened to her because of that, or that she has to, like, you just have to keep this. Oh, sorry, girl. I know that you were violently raped at gunpoint or something awful like that, but since you happen to be ovulating, you're stuck with it. Like, what the fuck? What about that has anything to do with the tender mercy of Jesus Christ? What about it? I just don't get it. You talking about if you read the Bible. Sir, maybe if you read the Bible. I think y'all just don't really know anything about Jesus the person. It's kind of like you focus on all of the hate that you can possibly glean and just every way that you can discriminate against somebody else and be terrible, and completely forget that Jesus would have been like, somebody go help this newborn and her mother find a place to live and give them some food. God wouldn't be doing this. Jesus wouldn't be in charge of slashing funding to social programs that help the poor. Jesus was actually all about the exact opposite of that.
There are pastors and churchgoers, people who own, operate, run churches that are proudly in the KKK and write for the paper.
Absolutely.
And, dedicate their lives to saying everybody who ain't white is shit.
Mm-mm.
So it's not, surprising to me that so many racists are always like, God, such and such and such. And I know that every single time they say his name, God is like, oh, girl,
Again.
keep me out of it. Stop talking about me. I don't know you. You don't know me. We do not speak.
I don't know her. That's what the J-Lo again.
Right.
I don't know her. That ain't got
either.
nothing to do with me. Quit bringing God into this. If you want to be hateful, do it on your own. But this is just, it's awful. It's inhumane.
You know something?
It's totally lacking in compassion.
People who worship Satan probably call him God. Because in many cultures and, like God isn't always like God. Like you can be a God or just a God of whatever it is that you believe in.
Right.
So again, these are
Who
demons.
knows?
And they're probably saying God and meaning
That's clearly it.
Beelzebub.
Right.
Lucifer.
And I mean, as a black
Prince.
woman descended of, black enslaved people, you're not going to use the Bible to justify anything to me, girl. We already fell for that once. So if this is what you're telling me, this is your backup for it, you're going to have to do something better than that. Sorry, girl. That ain't it. You just can't do it. You're not going to tell me, oh, well, God says, rape happens in the Bible and God made beautiful things come of it. This isn't your call. You just don't have the authority.
You're not God.
You don't get to do that. Like, it's just, God, I feel so strongly for the people still in red states. Like, being in America is bad enough, but being in a state that is on Donald Trump's side has to feel worse. Like, at the very least, I can at least get on Twitter and see the mayor and the first lady being like, we are going to resist. Fuck everything about Donald Trump. We ain't with it. We're not doing it.
We hate that bitch so much.
That makes me feel like, yes, I will pay these high ass taxes in New York City and New York State. Yes, fine. I will pay them because this is actually going towards a government that supports the people and not corporations and getting as rich as possible, or just enacting really hateful or restrictive legislation against people when it has nothing to do with you. A person with a penis who cannot get pregnant has no business trying to tell other women or tell women in general what they can and can't do with their bodies. Who the fuck is you? Who is you? I'm done.
Sense, you can have it and stuff, but
there's
more to it than that.
I'm just so tired of white men.
What are we supposed to do? Everybody is saying things that make all of the sense in the world. They're common sense. You know what we're talking about. And yet
these are simple words.
The behavior is everything but. Like, I've said it a million times and I can't ever think of anything else to say. It's like nobody's saying anything that's irrational. Nobody's saying anything that is just crazy. Like, these white people are just used to a hierarchy that they killed and stole for a long time to get. And they're like, ain't no fucking jigaboo 2 Chainz worshiping ass niggers gonna take any of that shit away from, because that's what we all are.
Yeah,
we all listen to 2 Chainz and and we support Jay-Z's drug sales and we all bought crack from him.
Jay-Z's a crack dealer. They love to bring that up. Like, we
didn't even talk about that unemployed bitch.
I was listening to Jay-Z talk about being a crack dealer way back then, girl. You're not telling me nothing new.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's like, what are you supposed to do when everything is, the behavior is always, we're going to do what the fuck we want to do. And then on top of that, we're going to throw salt in your wounds by acting like we don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like, that's the worst part about it. Is like, you can say that black people or Black Lives Matter is modern day KKK, which not only literally makes no, like that is literally wrong. Man. Because the KKK is the modern KKK, as we've said, but it's also something that is so like extreme and like completely out of nowhere. Right. Like, it's just the and that happens all of the time. Every single day you see people fact checking conservatives because they just make anything up to respond to truth. Like, just like Assface, who decided to, instead of saying or responding to the true shit coming out of Maxine Waters' mouth, it's, I couldn't even hear it because of that wig. Like, I'm going to take this wig to fuck up your whole life. How about that? Like, I'm going to have this same wig on when I come for you and everything that you hold dear. And then what you going to do? Like,
and you can have memories of me in this wig eviscerating your life. Is that going to feel better?
I don't know. It's like, even if you get every single thing that you want and Donald Trump gives every white straight person with a penis, the world, you're going to hear every other person in the world continue to complain about it and knock on your fucking door and try to get you out of office and talk about you and make fun of your ass on Saturday Night Live and everything that y'all motherfuckers can't stand. So
that's really it.
You ain't going to be at peace, and neither are we. And so why do we have to keep doing this circle of bullshit? But it's just the way things are, whether they know it or it's subconscious for them. They just rebel and push back. I would rather say fuck it.
I'm over it. And just like Auntie Maxine and Angela Rye, I'm not going to stop shutting up every time y'all say or do something so incredibly fucking dumb. I'm just not. So kiss my ass, and that's it. I'm done.
Well, that's it for this episode of The Read.
Congratulations to Kid Fury. He did 2 shows in Atlanta and Dallas over the weekend. Woo! How'd it go? Yay.
Thanks to everybody who came out to those shows. We had a great time. I appreciate everybody for the support. Even though, like I said, I had to cuss somebody out on the way home. I mean, it was light cussing.
Well, I mean, at least you didn't cuss nobody out at the show.
Damning to that person and her mother, who's probably a very nice person and was, didn't need to be
she
a
didn't
part
deserve
of
that.
But yeah, it was a good time. So thanks to everybody who came out. If you're in Los Angeles, I think there were still tickets for the show this Saturday. So LA, I'll see y'all then. I'll be out there for quite some time. So I hope that the weather is nice. Other things.
Well, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. This is The Read, and check out our website, thisistheread.com.
Also, make sure that you go and check out the new podcast here on Loudspeakers Network, Getting Grown, starring our sisters, Jade and Kia. I'm so excited that this shit is finally out. They've been working on it for such a long time. And I'm really excited. They're so fucking hilarious. And it's basically a podcast about figuring out this thing that we call adult life and what the fuck that means and how much bullshit it actually is.
Actually growing up and how fucking crazy that is.
Right.
So
whether it's going to church or being a mom or going to school or just
having a job,
dealing with young people shit and these new dances they come up with or whatever. I don't know what to expect fully, but I know that I can tell you I've listened. It's a great time and I knew it. They're great. I can't wait for you to listen to it. So go check it out. Getting Grown on Loudspeakers.
Yay,
Show
Jade
them
and Kia.
love.
Getting Grown.
Lots more in the work. So yeah, check them out. You can, I talked about tickets. Oh, you can get tickets on kidfurylive.com if you want to come to the Furious Thoughts Live stand-up shows. And I think that that's pretty much it. Okay.
Do we have an acronym this week? Are you going to be a hater again like you was last week? Or
what are you talking about?
Oh, you don't remember that? That on Crystal has a special someone.
How was that a hater? You're the one who said it.
Yeah, but you didn't have to do that. I just kind of very flippantly tossed that in there during an ad. You did not have to bring that back
Words
up.
mean things.
You know what?
So the acronym for this week.
Niggas love using my shit on me.
Can be DTASBW.
Donald Trump.
No.
A shitty bitch. Oh. Well, I don't know. Sorry.
Don't try a strong black woman.
That's it.
Theme for this week. Maybe that's what I'll call it too, because it takes too fucking long to think of titles. So there. If you thought about it, bitch, think again. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.